Okay, so welcome everybody on this pretty unusual talk, I think, because I'm going to present a website today. A website which is my own sort of scientific publication platform, which is something we don't really question every day, as scientists. So I called it Science 2.A, science because it's about science. 2, because I think it's a little bit forward thinking, and A, because there is a tiny bit of a anarchist component in the sense that I make abstraction of all the rules that encompass scientific publication. So it's about interstellar dust grain, ices, and planet formation, which is my broad scientific interest. The project goals are actually to create an online scientific publication and then public engagement platform, which is self-owned, creative, independent, interactive, and lifelong. It is aimed at promoting collaboration between multidisciplinary scientists and somehow bypassing the classic publication system, by as well providing a space and the tools to create and sustain an open and constructive dialogue, which is why we are all here today. So I've got 5 websites at the moment. So you're on this one, the master, but I have also 2 sets of notes because my PhD has been split in 2 for some reason. One is also my thesis. I have also a school, and I also designed the Open Dialogue website. So that's the state at the moment. So the current state of the project is it is an experiment. So it's something I use to experiment with how to communicate and how to publish research. It is also a work in progress, a journey, which I aim to be participative at some point. And it's online and it's completely free. So this website, which I call Master as well, is divided into 5 sections. So you've got my profile, with my scientific interest, my CV, a little description of the project, my research, some teaching as well, and the blog. And you could find all the sections with the different pages in here. So science for the people, what exactly do I want to achieve with this? Well, what I want to do is trying to explore and find new tools and methods to perform, edit, publish, share, and discuss research, which I think there is a lot of work to do. I divided it in like 3 different pages. So the manifesto, where I explain why I want to do this, a roadmap also to keep track of my progress and where I want to go, a contribute page to explain how you can participate into this project, and some versions. So this is free and open source. It's not free of efforts, though, as you can imagine, even though it's not that complicated, and I would tell you that there is also a lot of advantage with this. It is done using Jupyter Book, which I will explain also a little bit in further detail later. So it's an open, free, and easy to use Python library, which gives me a lot of advantages, which you can find all over there, and I'm going to speak to you about it later if I have time. And yeah, if you want your own academic website, feel free to get in touch. I think it's pretty cool, and I can help you with this. That would be a great pleasure to me. So this is a little bit my research with all my scientific projects, which are all here. So there is one book for each of those. Some are private, some are like actually a scientific publication, which happens sometimes. And so all of those research outputs are aimed to be collaborative, because you've got tools to actually interact with the page and with the research that I do. So there is 5 of them here. So you've got Binder, for example, to be able to interact with the code, which I think is very important. You can also annotate every word of this website, and it's relatively easy. It works just like this. And you just put your comments. So I want to say yo to myself. So yeah, here you go. You've got a comment now, which means you can actually directly on like the content itself peer review, collaborate, and also discuss on all the things that I do, which is good because that's for me what is the definition of open dialogue, what an open dialogue is. So as I go along also during my academic courses, I want to implement some teaching resources. I don't want to wait having to be a professor or something to start working on some teaching material. I think it's quite useful when you're learning and you find some resources to have a place where you can implement those resources. So I want to teach in many different topics. I have a big problem, which is that I'm not very good at keeping my attention focused on something. I have a very versatile interests, and I want to make it fun and creative as well. That's something which is very lacking, I think, in education, and that's something I would like to spend my career doing. I also want it to be organized by topics rather than curriculum, and within each of those topics you could have like different problematics with different level of difficulties, different time commitment and stuff like this, so that everybody can actually find what he wants. And also 3 different formats, bite size, for people that just want to quickly learn about something, or practical, like for example when you want to do some coding training and stuff like this, and when it's important that when the people learn, they come back with something they can actually use, which is rarely the case in normal teaching. And then there is a blog as well, which can help me to teach about not teach but talk about things that matters to me without having to sit in a committee full of whatever people. And what I care about, for example, is scientific publication, any hackathon, which I'm gonna try to write about at some point, and open dialogues, which is something that I also do care a lot. And then I can keep my notes directly accessible to me, and then there's a few, for example, my friend Barry, I would like him to write me a title as a graffiti, so you can have interaction between hip hop and art and then science. I think that's how you emulate this kind of collaboration.